Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Pavan, an Olympian and beach volleyball world champion and a longtime professional indoor player.
And I'm Adam, former indoor player and coach, current beach volleyball coach, and most importantly, Sarah's husband.
Smooth as butter.
The third time.
You guys know what day it is, don't ya? Just forget the fact that I just did that. Let's just move on. Today. Before we talk about last episode, we're talking about today. You know what day it is. Today we're watching season 1, episode 16 of Haikyu.
The hype?
Winners and losers. You guys know exactly how I feel about this episode. We're not going to dive in any deeper other than saying that. And Adam has been talking about this episode for weeks now because some of you decided to mention it. So we're going to see if, Adam's, comments, guesses, whatever are warranted. If episode 16 really is that special.
I do want to hop in real quick.
Okay.
I've been reading some comments.
Great.
There's one thing I would just like to clarify.
Remember that Adam is like weeks and weeks and weeks ahead right now. So the comments he is reading are probably from like 2 months ago.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
No, which is why I had to jump in, but go for it.
Well, we'll do it here. I won't do this again. The episode that just came out was post conversation between Suga and Ukai. And there's two things I want to clarify. One is I love that he's a team player. He's in the bro house. He's great.
Go back to episode 11 if you're very confused about what he's talking about.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And I don't dislike the fact that he had a conversation with the coach. It was more the initial way he went about it. And just saying, kind of starting off the top saying, I'm okay if we play him for the betterment of the team, which I totally get. But you have to, in my opinion, if I'm watching a player come in, you want to say, hey, here's why I should play A, B, C, and D reasons. You have to make your decision, that's fine, but I want to make it as hard on you as possible. That's all I'm saying. I like that he went there. I like the spirit that he's doing, that he has. It was a little too kind of roll over and take it for me. First one. Second one.
Oh.
There's one prediction that I want to throw out there. I feel like I wouldn't have picked Suga to start the tournament had I known it was a single elim off the hop. Okay.
You said what you said. Okay. You were wrong.
All right.
There's no discussion about this one. Okay. So feel free to debate that comment with Adam further. I'm sure he's excited to dive in deeper on that.
I love a good debate.
Yes. Revival. We are, according to everybody, about to witness Karasuno's revival. Is that true? I don't know.
They looked good.
They started their game against Tokonami. Ikujiri. I have to say his name like that. I know it's weird. Just bear with me. Adam met Aoni, my Haikyu brother, last episode. You know what? I appreciate that he loves me so much. He didn't even go there with the family resemblance. That's how much he loved me. And quite frankly, I brought it on myself and just called attention to it again and again because why not? Okay.
I'm excited to just see this episode.
Yeah, me too.
You already know what happens.
So let's do it. I'm excited, Adam's excited, I know you're excited. So episode 16 of Haikyu, Winners and Losers.
Let's do it.
Is coming right now. I like the effort.
しい。どんまい池尻。ナイスファイト。カラシナは使いませんね。例のトスを見ない速攻。
その代わりか、荒削りだが普通の速攻は使えるようになってる。下手くそながらコースの内訳までしよる。この短期間によほど有意義な練習試合でもしたかな。
I can
自分
appreciate
た
a
ちの
coach
武器を知
watching.
り増やし、その試合ごとにベストな攻撃で攻める。いろんなことが力任せだった危ういチームに知恵がついた。
Oh
でも
dear.
相変わらずボミスも多いですね。
レシーブばっかりは一朝一夕にはどうにもならんからな。
ナイスタッチャー。一本。
Kasano was winning.
ナイスだ。
Going the other way.
Baby.
あっという間に1セット目取りそうですね。あのリベロ相当厄介だぞ。それにヒゲのあんちゃんが入ったおかげで影山のトスも前より幅が出せてる。
Yawn.
さあ1本で切りましょう。もう一本。ひねてナイスを頼むぞ。はい1本取るぞ。
So, the setter from that team,
Oikawa.
Oikawa. I don't care. That was close enough. If the pronounce
I
is
mean,
bad,
you had
if I'm in the
the
ballpark.
beginning letter. And a K.
That's good enough for me. Interesting how the rest of his team is paying attention and dissecting the improvements, looking at what they've done differently. The coach and I'm assuming the captain are having conversations. He's just kind of sitting there, chill, not worried at all. And I don't know if
Is
that's
that the impression you're getting?
that's the impression. Like, do you see him? He's kind of laid back, sitting in
Yeah.
his chair. Looks like he's not really paying attention. That's a dangerous attitude to have on tournament day. To not give your opponents respect, regardless of where they are. I don't know.
I'm
First
not
impression.
I'm not commenting
Okay.
on that.
Okay.
I do like that the Seijo coach is giving them credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
There are lots of people who can't do that. So he's acknowledging their improvements, the changes they've made. You know,
Yeah.
he's getting ready just in case they happen to match up, I guess.
Kageyama's having his way. Got Hinata going. Double blocks this way, sending it over. Blockers or hitters are one-on-one.
I mean, I think it's clear that Tokonami just isn't at the same level,
Yeah.
but
You still
never
have to
know.
win.
You never know.
You still have to win, and that was a convincing win. That means you're not taking points off. Like you're taking care of all of your opportunities, and that's important. That's gonna
which
be,
you can see how Daichi was talking to them.
Yeah.
They're up 22-12, and he was like, "Hey, let's have a good serve here."
Yeah. Well, you have to do that. You're going to play a better team in the next round, so it's a good mindset to be in.
Maintain that focus.
中学最後の大会、まぐれみたいな初めての初戦突破。でも2回戦は到底勝てるはずもない強豪校で、完全に諦めムードな俺たちにお前言ったよな。相手だって同じ中学生なんだし、絶対に勝てないなんてことない。勝とうとしなきゃ勝てない。めけねえな沢村。めげてたまるか。最後の大会だ。相手も同じ中学生。確かにな。1回戦だって初めて勝ったし。よっしゃ2回戦も初勝ちするぞ。それでもやっぱり俺たちが突然強くなれるわけもなく、悪い沢村。すまん、この一本で切るぞ。
I like the competitive fire.
負けても やっぱりなって感じで、そんなに悔しかった覚えもなかった。それまでの苦しい練習が明日からはもうないんだって解放感すらあって。でもお前一人だけ苦しそうだったけど、なんでか俺はそんな風なお前が少し羨ましかった。
Sports are beautiful, everybody. That's why you play. Like, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, it's so interesting, especially at that age, why people play sport and the emotions they have. And you're just at that age, I feel like your internal wiring just has no filter or gauge on it. And just the way you're built is the way you react to those situations.
Or you could be like me and just be like that all the time.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Even now. Not in junior high. No, but it's like, he made his team believe.
Yeah.
He made his team believe they were getting smacked, and they were like full out going every single play. Like, oh, yes.
大丈夫か、池尻。ゆうた、いつも。玉川。ナイスレシーブ、玉川先輩。レフト来い。池尻先輩。
That was a big block.
I thought he might have had a tool.
カラスの噂と違うじゃねえか。どこが落ちた強豪だよ。
レベルが違うよな。
Do it.
ネットを挟んだ。格上とか格下とか関係ない。勝とうとしなきゃ勝てない。いや、今のは友達の。始まんぞ。うわ、俺なんかが言ったって説得力ねえだろ、バカか。完全に滑ったろ俺。ナイスだ。
Nice.
オータッチエース。1セット目取ってますます調子に乗り始めたな、カラスのは。
Oh, whoa.
くそ。いけじり。大きい。
Oh, the head to head. Did you see that? No, you didn't.
I did.
Look at that replay.
Challenge.
いいんだよ。こういう一点から流れが来るんだよ。俺も勝とうとしなきゃ勝てないよな。
I have
食らいついてく
goosebumps.
ぞ。弱小だって粘るときは粘るんだ。勝ちに行くぞ。おう。
I have goosebumps. He was so embarrassed and mortified that he like half said that, but they heard him and they listened and they believed.
To me, the cool thing about that is that you never know what impact you can have on other people and how that goes down the line. And that to me is the most beautiful thing about that.
He remembered that from 3 years ago, from when Daichi said that to him.
Yeah. It just goes to show you never know what impact your words and actions will have on someone.
Good or bad.
100%. So you always need to be aware of what you're doing.
Oh. Okay, what did Ikejiri do wrong on that joust?
Nothing he wanted.
Adam. Adam.
This is my pet duck Adam going for his first swim. Be careful, Adam. Adam. Adam.
First of all, you didn't see that.
I did.
I don't care.
I saw.
You didn't see that.
I thought I hit the antenna. I didn't say anything because I thought it was wrong.
Backtracking. What he did wrong
I
is
touched
he
the ball
hit
first.
it first, which I'm notorious for. I never win joasts. What position always wins a
Setters.
joust?
Setters, without a doubt.
Yes.
Got some pops.
Oh.
I'm gonna need to do some extra training.
Yeah, they didn't practice enough. They're out of shape.
確信が持てなくても周りの連中に絶対無理だって言われても俺たちは
It really concerns me when she hits her face.
俺たちだけは
Free block.
それを言ったらダメだろう
Oh, Aya. Wow.
止まる前惜しいよゆいなら今の拾えてたなごめん私何本も失敗して
Oh. Slapping everybody.
反省は試合終わってからさあ立ってまだ終わってない
I hope he scores
勝つ
one
のは
more.
余裕のマッチポイント向こうからしたら痛くも痒くもない1点かもしれないけど俺たちにはもう1点まだ来い離そう桜井いい感じ先輩まだ負けてない
まだ終わってない
Set him. Ooh.
次は絶対拾う一本取り返すぞこいつら本気だ多分この会場で誰も注目も警戒もしてない俺たちにこいつらだけが本気だ
I got multiple waves of full body chills, okay? In that scene.
Yeah.
Multiple waves. Usually the goosebumps hit once. This time, 3 times.
What were yours?
I don't know if I can identify when they came about. What about you? You know?
So mine was just thinking about the impact that Daichi had. Like you can see it on a women's team, on that whole team that they're playing. I just think that that's really cool.
That's why he's in the bro house.
So there was that one. I think that the most respect you can ever give your opponent is to try 100%, regardless.
Oh.
No, but do you know
No, I
how when
agree.
you play? Sometimes there are just teams that are better than you. They're just flat out better, and they'll kind of joke around and they won't take it seriously. Like I would rather get beat 25-5 and know that I earned those 5 points than get beat 25-21 and know they were screwing with me. And I think that gives them of like, hey, this is where we are. This is a good team. They gave us the respect of playing us, even though it wasn't close. I just love that about sport. I think it's important.
I love that they had the point, that they scored another point.
Yeah.
To see how hard Mishimiya was going for the ball.
But even I think about Ikajiri, he's like, he was so timid to speak up to his teammates, right? And then he sees the positive impact on that. And this might be his last match he ever plays. But that experience on this team is going to give him confidence for whatever else he's going to go do.
And
He's going to speak up.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
And they will remember what he said to them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's alright.
What were you going to say?
No, that's what I said. It's just like those are the transferable moments from sports. Like he's going to walk off this court with a level of confidence that he's never had in his life because of that. Are they gonna talk?
おい、ボケっとしてんなボケ。さっさと。
勝った。次も試合ある。
おう、勝ったからな。
勝った次もまた試合ができる。コートに立っていられる。次も。
勝利に飢えた小さな獣が初めて勝利の味を知ったんですね。
あいつら午後にもう一試合あるってこと分かってんすかね。だってあそこまで行ったら逆転はないんだし、なるべく体力を温存しといた方が。
よかったじゃん、本気が見れてさ。でも変人速攻はやんなかったね。
向こうのコートも終わった。伊達校の圧勝だ。カラスの対伊達校か。どっちが勝ち上がってきますかね。
行くぞ、俺たちも次勝たなきゃそこに行けないんだ。
He was paying
attention. He's just chilling, got that vibe, kicked back in his chair, but he's watching.
I was going to say.
All right.
Interesting comment that he made, that they made, given what you just said. Oh, I'm surprised they didn't conserve energy.
Come on. 2 matches, 1 day.
No, well, you were just saying about giving a full effort and like playing at your 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. This format, the fitness shouldn't be an issue. Shouldn't be an issue.
Well, now they get to play the team that Asahi had his meltdown again.
I'm excited to see that. I want to know what happens.
泣かないでよ。もう。だって私がサーブで手が触れていっぱい点取られて。それを繋いでいくのがバレエじゃん。相手の方がそれが上手かった。だから負けた。誰のせいとかそういうのない。キャプテン、先生が呼んでます。うん。ちょっと行ってくるからね。道宮先輩、すごいですね。一番練習して一番悔しいはずなのに。違う。ああやってみんなの前ではちゃんと主将でいて、次って一人になってうちらに背を向けてから。
俺にしては頑張ったよな。それなりにサボらずやったし。テレビで試合を見た次の日はふざけてでも半分本気で将来は日本代表になるとか言ったりして、そのくせ地味な筋トレになった途端にテンション下がったりして。これで終わりか。早かったな。まだ6月だぞ。
あの時もう少しだけ頑張ってたら。
筋トレも走り込みももっと頑張ってたら。
もっと首相らしくできてたら。
レシーブ一本にもっと必死になれてたら。
あと一歩足が前に出ていたなら。
もう少しバレエをやれていたんだろうか。
沢村。
池尻。
勝てよ、たくさん勝てよ、俺たちの分も。
受け取った。
多分こんな風にあっけなく部活を終わるやつが全国に何万人といるんだろう。何試合もある予選を全部勝ち抜いて全国へ行って、これがフィクションだとしたら全国へ行くやつらが主役で俺たちはエキストラみたいな感じだろうか。それでも俺たちもやったよ。
私たちもやってたよ、バレーボール。
Well, I just had a full-blown off-camera meltdown. I think I cried 4 times harder on this watch through than I did the first one.
I don't even know where to start. I have so many things running through my head. I think sport is the ultimate emotion evoker. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does.
It causes you to feel so many things when you're doing it. And I think, outside, I would imagine having a child or, loss in your life, that the form of sports is the biggest roller coaster. You very rarely win all the time, and you are forced to deal with your failures constantly as you try and be great. And I think for me, one of the things that struck me was, both of them lost, and you immediately go to, and I think this is very normal, like, I should have done more, and I think one of the things, at least for me as a coach, is you try and get your athletes to train so they have no regrets. Like, that's the goal, right? You're not always gonna win, but you wanna be able to walk off the court and go, I did everything I could to be as good as I could in that moment. And honestly, there's nothing worse than walking off the court and thinking, and just knowing in yourself that you could have done more. It's the worst feeling, the absolute worst. I don't know what you think.
I mean, I think that there's so many relatable
Oh,
parts in this anime in general. I think this one is possibly one of the most relatable parts for me. It's, you know, it's interesting because I think the first time I watched this was a couple years ago, and I was like about or close to going to the Olympics. So it was like at that time I was close to the apex in my sport.
Well, you were one in the world at that point.
And anyways, and fast forward a couple of years, and due to numerous circumstances, life things that have happened, not just to me, but even to both of us, and just like life stuff, sports stuff, now I am probably very close to being done with my career. And so like I could kind of relate the first watch through, but now being at this point in my career where it's like legitimately almost done, I did not expect to cry that much.
Yeah, it hits home.
Yeah. Yeah. But I will say, I can say that I do not, it's not looking back and be like, I should have done more.
Yeah. No, I get that. I feel like there's an acute feeling right when you lose. And then there's a reflection period after you lose where you really get to know who you are and what you did and if you laid it all out on the line.
Well, and Ikejiri and Mishimiya are third years. They'll probably never play again.
Yeah.
And so it's just like the finality of it, and just like to hear their gratitude at being able to play the sport. Like, oh.
Well, I mean, so for me personally, like I wasn't good enough to go on and play after university. I graduated in 4 years, and my university team, we lost in the final in the 5th set by 2 points, 15-13, and that was so heartbreaking. We had 7 4th years on our team. 5 of us came back because we were not willing to finish our careers like that.
Yeah.
Like, we went to school for a whole another year to take nonsense classes to not have it end that way. Like, that motivation is crazy. It's all consuming.
Yeah, and I know I talked about this the first time when I watched it by myself, but it's just like all the attention and all the focus goes on the winners, but it's like there's only one. Every other team loses. And so
well, and we're not...
the impact of that is just minimized in sport because all the focus goes on the winner. But like I would say that the feeling and the pain of losing is, at least for me, so much stronger than the joy that I derive from winning. And like the way that was expressed, like I thought it was so beautiful. It was so relatable and quite frankly incredibly relevant to where I am in my career. And so excuse the waterworks, like this was next level. So sorry about that. Did you cry?
I think there was a tear.
We're at 3, ladies and gentlemen. We're at 3 tears from Adam. Anything else you want to talk about with this scene before we move on?
No, it was just so, I didn't think it would be possible to capture those emotions, but like I was brought back to my biggest losses. And you can just relate. You instinctively know how that feels.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Wonderful. Masterpiece.
I wonder if the person who wrote Haikyu was an athlete. Like, I wonder...
I don't think so. But they know the history.
I just don't know how you I don't know how you capture that feeling without having felt it. And even then, like, I could never articulate it like this.
Oh my
I just know what it feels like.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Perfect pause yet again. Oh. Man. So the guy who said maybe Sarah will cry less this time around, joke's on you.
I could have predicted that.
すごかったな、カラスの。特にあの小さい10番にはビビった。ああ、だよな。
Don't let it go to your head.
決まってたもんな。なんだよ。嬉しくたっていいじゃんか。俺、あんな風に言われたことないし。別に何も言ってねえだろ。
His
お前が注目されるの
smile.
はいいことじゃねえか。相手がお前に注目して警戒すればするほどお前は本領を発揮する。おお、よくわかんないけど。
That's actually an incredible compliment.
お、その通りだな。とにかくあのちっこい10番がすげえ的な空気を作る。それが大きくなればなるほど、日向が光れば光るほど相手のブロックは目がくらむのさ。で、2回戦のスターティングは1回戦の時と同じでいく。
次の試合は1時半からだ。体冷やすなよ。
それまでに軽く飯食っとけ。腹いっぱいにはすんなよ。
次。
I'm feeling for Suga.
I mean, it's a single elimination. They just crushed a team. Like, why would you change anything?
No, but and again, this comes back to the feeling of sport. Like, it's the right decision, but that doesn't make it any easier for him. You know?
No, it doesn't.
Because he's worked, he's put his time in, he's done all of those things, and you're supposed to play in your last year. Like, that's but you put your time in. The whole idea is, like, if you're not starting when you're in, you're putting your time in, you're working, you're supposed to get your shot, and when you don't, it's hard.
And they could have won the last match with Suga setting, 100%. Yeah. But in order to prepare them for the tougher opponents, they need to develop a rhythm together. So
it was 100% the right call.
Yeah.
あの眉なしのいる鉄壁高校だな。伊達工業は分かってるし。多分伊達工に負けたっていう3月の試合が東根さんが部を離れた原因だ。朝日さんが
ある試合で朝日のスパイクは徹底的にブロックに止められてさ。
あの朝日さん徹底的に止めたブロック。
日向、影山、ちょっといいか。
I'm gonna be very curious how Kageyama handles his set distribution in this set coming up. He is going to have to get Asahi in some good situations early to build his confidence back. No matter what he does, that match will stay with him. He will be thinking about it as he steps on the court, and he's gonna need to build a little confidence to do that. So Kageyama's gonna have to try and get him like a one-on-one early or a couple one-on-ones just to get him going. And if he can't, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, if he makes a lot of errors early, it's probably not great.
Yeah.
He needs to have success, some success early.
Yeah, yeah.
そろそろ行くぞ。
よろしく頼む。伊達工業は強敵だ。3ヶ月前はあの鉄壁のブロックにコテンパンにやられた。でも今は最強のおとりがいる。日向の前の道を切り開いたみたいに、朝日のエースの前の道も切り開いてくれ。
this is bad news for Hinata.
ダテコファイランニングビビるのに忙しいやつだな。
伊達公怖え。一生コートにいたら飲まれるわ。1回戦で伊達公と当たってたチームのスパイか。すげえかわいそうだったよな。文字通り何もさせてもらえないって感じだったもんな。キャプテンよろしくお願いします。
なんていうかコート全体が伊達公色って感じですね。
先レシーブになりました。コートはこっちで。
おう
アップだレシーブ。
行くぞつなげよう。伊達公にストレート負けしてからたった3ヶ月だ。チームは確実に進化していても 2,3 年の中のどっかにはまだ負けるイメージが居座ってるのかもしれねえな。とりあえずこの伊達公に飲まれ気味な空気をなんとかしねえと。
ローリングサンダーアゲイン。
決まったぜ。ゴーヤさんナイスレシーブ。キレッキレじゃねえか。技名以外の
技名もキレキレだろうが。
教えてアゲイン教えて。
前のとこに準備ですね。
何や拾えただろう。また西野よ。こら西野や。また大臣に怒られるよ。
しゃあ心配することなんかなんもねえ。みんな前だけ見てけよ。背中は俺が守ってやるぜ。
なんとみんなの空気がいつも通りになりましたね。
おう小さい体でなんつう頼もしさ。守備だけじゃないリベロの重要な仕事はコートの後ろからのチームの鼓舞。本当に優秀なリベロだな。
Oh my god. I literally started crying again. Wow.
I feel like that's the definition of what a libero should do. It's like he could just feel
The tension.
well, his team was behind before the game even started. And he just did something that was good volleyball, but it was a little bit silly. It drew attention away from everybody. It lightened the mood a little bit.
Yes.
And just like but the cool thing for me watching that was that it was just for Asahi. Like it was for everybody.
I'm literally gonna cry. Oh.
It was for everybody, but it was specifically for him. And that was just the emotional intelligence of A, being able to recognize the situation, but then B, knowing exactly how to kind of lighten the mood, but be there for the guy who's going to potentially struggle the most, or who has the biggest, reaction to that. That was cool to see.
I'm just a puddle. Yeah, sometimes you just need to laugh to loosen it up a little bit.
Well, and there's no denying the history. Like you can't, sometimes those situations are so hard to deal with, right? Because you can't pretend it didn't happen.
Well, everybody knows, and they're like, do we say something? Do we not?
Yeah, and you always need, Tanaka can alleviate tension in his own way.
Yeah.
But that was something different, and that was, incredibly well done by him.
Keep your eyes forward, because I'll be guarding your backs.
And I also love the dichotomy of the signs, the iron wall versus fly.
Fly over that wall, baby.
Well,
perch on that wall. Oh my gosh.
I hope, how many episodes are there? 24. I hope the next 8 episodes are all of this match.
I am just, this one hit me. This one got me so good. Like, the Daichi Ikajiri relationship, the winner and loser discussion, you know, Noya coming in strong for the team and for Asahi in particular, and just like, there were so many, I don't even want to say tidbits because that minimizes like how powerful they were, but there were just so many heavy hitting moments.
Yeah, just great moments. I just don't have a feel for what's gonna happen next, which I love. Like, normally when you watch, and okay, so let me rephrase that. I haven't watched a lot of anime, but normally, like, you kind of watch TV and you're like, okay, I can kind of, this is gonna happen. This is,
especially with sports shows.
Yeah,
sports shows they usually follow a distinct trajectory.
Yeah, but with this, like, I could see them losing and having to respond and learn from those moments, and this being a huge experience for Kageyama and Hinata to be successful down the road. But I could also see Asahi, you know, hitting 800 on 50 sets and carrying his team to victory, you know, and doing that as well, along with Suga coming in. Like, there's just so many ways it can go, and I have no feel for how the writer is going to like take this moment, which is awesome because that's how sport is. Like, who is gonna show up in this match?
His excitement is making me so happy, okay? And I know it's making you guys happy.
Yeah, I'm just so excited to see who responds. Like, how good is the Iron Wall? How good is that middle? Right? How does Asahi, like, he hasn't really faced any adversity since he's come back.
Since he last played this team.
Right. So like these situations, and as you're coaching and watching athletes go through this, you see who people are, and you have an opportunity to kind of shape them and talk to them about these things. Like, these are the matches you look forward to, because this is what shows you where you are and what you're willing to do to get where you want to go.
Did episode 16 live up to your expectations?
I mean, it was a pretty heavy hitter.
Was it better than you expected? More impactful than you expected?
I tried, even though people said it was a big episode, I kind of didn't want to put any expectations on it.
Okay.
And I didn't know whether it was going to be big in terms of like the outcome or the moments, or so I'm not sure how I would answer that question. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was incredibly well done. It tugged on the heartstrings. It was accurate to a fault. Yeah, it was a good one. I can see why it resonates with people.
I don't think this is giving anything away, but I can say wholeheartedly, this is one of my favorite episodes of all time.
Wow.
In Haikyu.
Wow.
I know that you guys are gonna have a lot to say about this one. Okay? Let's hear it. Adam's gonna be all over this. He wants to talk about winners and losers, you bet. So let us know. Write us in the comments below. Also, my tears were flowing. So please, give me a like on this episode, okay? And I'd be so happy if you would subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned, we are rolling. Karasuno versus Datako is coming up next week. Bye guys.